Hi, dear students. Let us do today with the fourth chapter of your supplementary, which is the treasure within. But before I start the chapter, I just want to ask you all one question. And I'm sure you all are very much aware about the answer to this question. Okay, so can you tell me when does the moon shine? Yeah, you heard me right. Simple question. When does the moon shine? So it probably shines during the night time, right? And when does the sun shine? It shines during the daytime, right? During the day hours. Now you might be wondering, why did I ask this question? Now, the reason behind asking this question is that so that to let you know whether it is sun or the moon, both of them shines, but both of them, they have their particular time frame, they have their particular hours. We don't see, no matter sun is considered to be a mightier one, a bigger one as compared to moon, but we don't see the sun at night. Likewise, we also do not see the moon during the day hours. We see the moon at night and the sun during the day. The sun shines during the daytime and the moon shines during the night time. Which means, be it the sun or the moon, both of them, they shine. They shine as per their own time, as per their own duration, and when they are supposed to shine. So, you all, yes, you all, each one of you out there, you all, I'm sure and I know, I believe that you all will definitely shine. I doesn't mean to say that you all will shine at one particular time. It may not happen, but you all will definitely shine. If one of you shine during the day hours, the other of you may shine at night. Which means each one of you has got some potentiality within yourself. At times, you may you may score some less marks in some particular subjects. That doesn't mean that you don't have any potentiality. No. Scoring less marks in one subject does not mean that you are a bad student or you are a dull student. No, there is nothing called bad or dull. You just have to find your interest. You just have to develop that what are you interested towards. And the day you find your interest, you develop your interest, trust me, my dear students, you will be shining much more brighter than the sun. I hope you understood what I'm trying to tell you, the message that I'm trying to convey you. Each one of you has got some potentiality within yourself. If one of you may be good in English, that doesn't mean that you'll be good in sports. And if you fail in sports, doesn't mean that you are a bad student. You failed in sports, but at the same time, you have your potentiality in English. So, if some of you does not score in any ABCD, any subject, that doesn't mean that you are a bad student, you are a dull student. No, you just have to find out your skills, your talent. And the day you find this out, nobody can hold you back. Nobody can, stop you from achieving success. And to find out this skill, this talent, this interest that we have in us, that is called the treasure. And that is where the title of the chapter is, the treasure within. We all have a treasure within us. We just need to find out. That's all. So, this chapter will also tell us about a particular personality who is a well-known architect. His name is Mr. Hafiz contractor. We will see in this story, in this lesson, that this particular person who is right now currently a well-known architect, at the same time he also holds many other good reputed designated position as well, but during his childhood days or during his school days, he was also not a good scorer. He was also not able to know that what is he good at or where is his potential. But the day he realized his skills, his talent, from that day he never turned back, and that is why today we are going to read about him. This story is basically a conversation between two characters, between two personalities. One is Miss Bella Raja, the editor of Spurs. Spurs is a newsletter. And on the other side, Mr. Hafiz contractor, one of the India's leading architect. So the interviewer, that is Bella Raja, starts asking question to Mr. Hafiz contractor, and the discussion starts between both of them. If you see this story in your textbook, it has got two parts. All right. So we will discuss today with the first part, and the second part we will continue in the next class, so that you must not feel a kind of overweight or something like that. My intention is to make you understand. Just listen to the story, listen to the explanation, and try to understand properly. So as the discussion starts, the conversation starts between both of them. So Mr. Hafiz starts saying that he really used to have some kind of terrible nightmare, and this nightmare which he used to have has recently disappeared. It had been just somewhere around 4 to 5 years that he is free from this nightmare. He says that during his childhood he was not at all good in academics. I repeat, Mr. Hafiz contractor, about whom we are going to study now, whom we are going to see about his achievement, his success, he was not at all good in his academics. He hardly passed his exams, that too by cheating the answers from the other students. How did he pass his exams? Cheating the answers from the other students. But he was really very good at sketching, drawing, art, sketching. And it so happened that he himself was not aware that this sketching, this ability of his, will take him to such a height that we will be reading about him today. So let us begin from his childhood. During his school days, he was very unhappy. He was an unhappy schoolboy. Okay? And in the first and the second year, he was a good student, class 1 and 2, you can say that. But from the third standard onwards, he seemed to have lost all interest in studies. and particularly he was afraid of mathematics. He had nightmares about maths examinations. He dreamt of, appearing in the examination not knowing anything at all about the subject. And Hafiz, he used to love actions, not theories. As I told you, everybody has got their own specific interest. His interest was towards actions, not theories. And as a student, he was interested in games, playing jokes on others. And he was a very sportsman. He was a very good sportsman. In fact, he was a senior champion for many years. He was also the captain of his school cricket team. Okay. So this is basically what? Conversation between him and the interviewer. Okay. So let me continue. So during this conversation, he also describes about his school principal. As he was describing about his school days, he remembers a certain incident about his principal, and he shares this with the interviewer. He says that, as I already told you, that he used to pass the examination only by copying, but when he approached his 11th standard, 11th class, one day the principal called him and said him, "Look, my son, I have been seeing you since the day one. You are a good student, but you never study. I have taken care of you till today. Now, I can no longer take care of you, so you have to take care of yourself." The principal talked to him for around 5 minutes, and this particular occasion, just 5 minutes of talk, the 5 minutes of advice from the principal brought him to a level where is he today. The principal's advice had the desired effect on the contractor, that is Hafiz. He would go for prayers regularly, and also he would do all his works. He would just eat and study, and as a result, in his class 12th examination, a student who never studied, who just passed the examination copying from his friends, now the same student got 50% in his class 12 examination just because of his principal's advice. And as he was sharing his experiences about the school with the interviewer, he also, the interviewer also asks him about whether he used to get punishment or not in the school. And then he replied that yes, teachers used to pull him up regularly. In fact, he would receive a caning every week. You know what is caning? Getting good chocolates at the back, which usually nowadays it doesn't happen. But there was a time when it used to happen. So you all are very happy to listen to that, right? That nowadays it doesn't happen. But there was a time. So he was sharing these things that very often he would get pulled up by the teacher regularly, and he would even receive caning every week. But however, he never felt anything on this account. In fact, this caning did not bring any change in him. He was interested in playing, that's all, as usual. He was just play and nothing else. In fact, as most of you do in the school days, your childhood memories, he also was the leader of a gang. He had a gang in the school. He would have gang fights. He would plan strategies. And in fact, these things pulled his interest more instead of the books. And one day, he did not want to study. So, he created a distraction. And for 1 whole hour, the entire group, they played chore police. So see, you can relate this to your life, right? The school days, the school memories. It's quite similar to some of you. But the same boy who was only interested in games, who was a gang leader, who was involved into fights and planning strategies, today is one of the most renowned architect. So with this we end part 1 here. Just go through the text up till part 1. You don't have to read part 2. In the next class, as we continue part 2, then you can read the text of the second part. Okay? So see, my dear children, I hope and I believe by the time we start our next class for the second part, you will at least try to find out what are you interested towards in. What's your potentiality? Okay? I would like to hear from each one of you about your interests and your skills, talent, be it in whatsoever field. It doesn't mean that you have to be in academics only. Okay? Take care. Study well.